So first you get the towels, which will be hanging on the area in the spare bedroom. I have already got them though. Next, you just lay the towels out. I have this one just on the door handle to wipe your hands with. And then I just lay one out just at the front of the fish tank. Any order, they're all about the same size. I lay one out like that. And I double one over. And I lay it in that gap there, doubled over, because that is the one that I put the logs on from the fish tank. You go into the end cupboard. This is to get the light on. You disconnect the timer, just unplug it, and then take the timer out and plug it in straight to the adapter socket, and that will have put the light on. So next, you just take the lids off. And fold them, put them on the floor on one of the towels. Then you move the light bar back, which will give you enough room to get in to be able to take the logs out. Before you start taking the water out, it is important to pull this plug out there, which stops the air bubbles and the pump. And now you're ready to take the logs out. You have to pull this one out so far carefully and then tip it upside down, because there is actually holes in the bottom of the log which squirts water out everywhere if you're not careful. So just pull it halfway and then tip it up. So now you pull this log out, but this log's sometimes a bit more tricky because there could be a clown loach in it. There's one, so just check and check. If nothing comes out, it's not in there. Now you just pull the little bog oaky bits out, because just behind the bog oaky bits and around them two plants in the middle is actually the muckiest place in the tank. And then hand towel is just handy just to dry your hands in between doing things. So I've got the bog oaks just sat in that corner and the logs. The lid's just there. The fish tank has no ornaments in now, so you're ready to start gravel cleaning. You get the buckets out of the cupboard. So you get your gravel cleaner in. Give it a little suck, and off you go. That's what she said. Don't go too close to the live plants just at that left corner, just near where I've started, because a bit of muck to it actually helps the plant a bit. So you take 10 litres each bucketful. You'll be able to see on the side of the bucket it says 10 litres. So you take 6 bucketfuls out. So that's 60 litres of water out. We're just about to get to the mucky bit now. You might have done all the gravel before you've got the 60 litres out. So it doesn't matter if you've only got 30 litres out and you've cleaned all the gravel, because you just leave it sucking the rest of the water out for the last few bucketfuls. Oh yeah, of course, now you actually have to stop it and go to the other side of the bar, because there's a bar in the middle of the tank that you can't get past. So now I take the 10 litres out. Chuck it out the door. And then continue doing the water, the gravel. Right, so I'm at the 10 litre mark, put the finger over the end, get the other bucket on, just trap the pipe under the handle and it will stay in place. And I'm just about done the gravel now. So now I just move the light forward, trap the pipe in, so the light now is trapping the pipe in place, and it's just still filling the buckets up. On the side of the bucket, I don't know if you'll see that or not, there is actually marks. You want to go up to the 10 litre marks and you tip it out. Tip it out. The two buckets that you empty the water out are the two that you put clean water in. Now at this point I clean the glass and I do a few other bits and bobs, but I won't expect you to do that, so I will stop the video now and put it on again when I'm putting the fresh water back in. So if you put it at the angle about like that, so it is actually clear from the sink, you can get the buckets in and out without having to move it. So you just put it on to get the hot water going, get the buckets, get stuck in the door. No, you don't do that, I might cut that bit out. Ow. Right, so the hot water's going, you've got your buckets, you give them a quick swill out, because we just had mucky water in and there might just be some bits in. You give them both a quick swill out. Just keep my hand in, keep checking the temperature to go. If you put the little twiddly thing about upright, it's not too far off. Once the hot water comes through, it's not too far off the right temperature to go straight into the tank. So you put it to the 10 litre mark on the side of the bucket, turn it off, lift the bucket out, put the next bucket in and start it going again. While that one's filling up, you go and stick the other bucket into the fish tank. Now that one's actually not too far off fully, it's about the right temperature. So you just switch it off, lift it out, put the bucket in and set it going. And now we'll go through to the fish tank. So you pick your bucket up, obviously, don't know what this filming's like, go through to the fish tank. So what I actually do is, I just tip the water onto the top of the tall log. Just tip it in. And if you tip it on top of the tall log, it just breaks it up a little bit, so it isn't quite as violent when you're tipping the bucket in. Right, so you come through with your bucket, you lift it up, you go above the tank and just tip it in onto the log again. Again, it doesn't matter if you spill, it will happen. The main thing is if you spill, just make sure you get either a towel or a cloth. There's the hand towel that's just hanging on the door handle, and just give the wood a bit of a wipe. I'm not fussed about the fish tank and the glass, but the cabinet has enough water damage as it is, so I do just try to keep it a little bit better, a little bit less water damage if I can. So you put your 60 litres in, and I don't know if you can see, on the side of the tank there is a minimum maximum line. You just put the water in until it's on the maximum line. It's not really very focused, but you get the gist. At this point, when you've put the 60 litres water back in, you plug the plug back in, check the pump and air bubbles are going. You can see the ripples of water on the top and the air bubbles are getting blown, so you know that that's going. Now go into the cupboard at the left hand side and you'll see the Stress Zyme and tap water conditioner. Get the Stress Zyme. The Stress Zyme, you put 3 capfuls in to the flow of the water. Three level capfuls in to the flow of the water, and just give the lid a little rinse in the water because it goes all crystallised if you don't. So now you give the bottles a quick shake before you do it, and you put your tap water conditioner in, and it's 1 level capful into the water. Again, just give the lid a little bit of a rinse and pop it back in the cupboard. There is plenty in there, so if it is a used bottle, there is always spare bottles in there. You put the lid back in, obviously, back on. The bit with the square goes at the front, the circle goes at the back. Obviously there's a handle at the front. You just slot it around until it just all fits into place and is flush-ish with the tank. Right, so you're about done. The light is still on though, but the pump's going, the bubbles are going, the tank's full, the fish look happy enough, and you now unplug the end plug, which is the light, plug the timer back in, and plug the plug back into the timer, and now it will be set back on timer and it will come on and off at night automatically. So now you've got your buckets ready to go away, but you just give them a quick dry out with the towel that you just wipe your hands with. Just give it a quick dry out, because otherwise the water will still be there next time you get the buckets out, and I don't think that's very good for the fish tank. So you dried your buckets out quickly, stack the buckets together, you get your gravel cleaner and stick it into the buckets. And just pop the buckets away into the cupboard. Gather the towels up. You won't have the window cleaning thing because you won't expect you to do that. Gather the towels up. Have a trip up my stairs. Baby Teddy! Had to do something daft in the video. And just hang the towels on the area in the spare bedroom so that they dry a bit. Throw them on, and I think you're done. Thank you very much. We will have plenty of practices hopefully before I go away, and I hope you will be able to manage that, and my fish will be very happy and healthy and enjoy stepdad looking after them.